Buddy in YouTube world. Cruise Bachelor is here at the world's largest sandbar party. Which that may or may not be true, but kind of feels like it's true. So I'm going to tell you it's the world's largest sandbar party. And we are on Utopia of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's second newest ship. And we're in Nassau, Bahamas, at the port. And next to us we have a Carnival ship. I think this is Carnival Glory. And then there's a Carnival Celebration over there. And then the Carnival Celebration has its own roller coaster, which I think is really awesome. And then there's the Disney Wish as well. So it's just cool. That's all I can really say. So let's go look around, check things out. We'll go up through here and we'll look over the solarium. And now we're into the Hooked restaurant. We're just gonna look around real quick. And this is one of the specialty restaurants at the front of the ship by the solarium. Hello. And although I am a captain and have taken people fishing for a living for 20 something years, I'm allergic to fish, so I don't ever eat this particular restaurant. But I know people like it. They speak well of it. And then there's the solarium. And this is the front of the ship. If you've ever seen Icon or Star of the Seas, theirs is all under air condition. And on the Oasis class ships, the front of the ship is more open air, no air condition, unless you're in this area here. And this is the Hooked restaurant. And I like the way it looks, the colors and everything in here. But since we're at the port, we're going to go back outside. We're going to check out YouTube. Get all of you an idea so you can see what it looks like at the port in Nassau. And we're going to look at Royal Beach Club, which is not complete yet, but they said it's going to be done December in 3 weeks. They're not going to get it done. But, they're being optimistic. So let's go check it out. And here we go. And here we go. Now, by the way, I always take the stairs. The only time I take the elevators is sometimes with my luggage, and that's only on the day I get here and the day I leave. Now we are at the front of the ship, and this is where all the slides are on the Oasis class ships. They're in the front. And then on the Icon class ships on Royal Caribbean, they have a whole water theme park, and it's in the back. And like I said, we are on a port day, which usually means there's not a lot of people on the ship. However, it's been a lot busier. Not that it's too busy. Look, there's seats everywhere. However, it's busier than what it normally looks like. Now, some days, every one of these seats are taken up, but I really don't think it's going to be that way at any time on this trip. And obviously that's the kids area. And then over here is the Royal Beach Club. So they try to separate the ship pretty well with the pools. So you got all the little ones in an area that's fun for them where they like it. And then the boring pools, which are the adult pools. They try to keep all the slides and all that stuff on one side. So that way nobody really gets in each other's way, for the most part. And then over here is the Royal Beach Club. And they are supposed to be finished with this in, I think, 3 weeks. So, I don't believe they're going to make it. However, some parts are looking okay. But like this building with no roof on it right there, that's not going to be done. That building over there where the roof's not finished, that one's not going to be done either. And then up there is Atlantis. And by car, to get to this island, it's crazy, but it's like 35 minutes. But if they're going to ferry from the ship to the island, you can tell it'll only take a couple of minutes. So I'm assuming they're just going to ferry over to the Royal Beach Club. I think ferry makes the most sense. And as you can tell, you guys, I'm crawling through the behind the seats and everything to try to get you cool looks. And then there's another adult pool. This is usually where the world's sexiest man contest and the belly flop contest. And they're getting prepared to do a sail away party from Nassau because I think we leave out of here either 3:30 or 4:30. And then here's another shot. Remember, they're going to be done in 3 weeks. Oh, she's got cotton candy. I might have to go find out where that's at. And it's right around 80 degrees. Florida guy. That's a little chilly for us. So that just means that all the people you see in the pool, the majority of them aren't from Florida. Now my YouTube people, for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't send out my lives the same way that TikTok does. I just did a TikTok the same way that I'm doing with you all right now, and it did 13.5 thousand views on the live. However, the 5 of you that are on here right now, I appreciate it, but it just shows you the different platforms do things their own ways. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a sea turtle that just came out of the water down there. He's right underneath the edge. So where the phone's pointing, there's a sea turtle about to come up. Pretty big one. And this is a better view of Royal Beach Club. You get a good look of how it looks and everything. So now we're gonna walk towards the back of the ship. And this ship is, I think it's over 3 football fields long. So we cover a lot of spaces. And this is a combo pickleball, basketball, soccer, dodgeball court. They play a little bit of it all up there. And the water is absolutely gorgeous. Now, once again, this is the Royal Beach Club that you're looking at. Now, Royal Caribbean said they're going to have it done by the 3rd week of December. I don't believe them. And this pier right here is probably going to be the main pier that docks from the ferries back and forth to the ship. But the weather is absolutely perfect. The seas are calm. And it's probably about 78 degrees, 79 degrees, something like that. In the Bahamas too. And now, for those of you that aren't familiar with Cruise Bachelor and the channel and the show and all that type of stuff. So, Cruise I could be on a cruise the entire year. They send me so many offers. It's absolutely awesome. And I'm currently at signature level in Casino Royale. And with that allows me to be able to stream to you all because my internet is actually included because of my tier status. And I have a club called the Inner Cruise Comp Club. Have a system and a method that will allow you, if you cruise and you play, I have a system that will allow you to get free cruises. Well, comp cruises. Don't like saying free cruises, but comp cruises just like I did. I think this is my 15th cruise for the year, and I've been all over the place, including Rome, Mykonos, Kusadasi, all the Caribbean islands, St. Kitts, Cozumel, Honduras, all over the place. So if you're interested and you want to do stuff like this, you can DM me at Cruise Bachelor on Instagram and just DM me Inner, INNER, and it's a very limited club. And there's only a few people that I can invite into it because if the method gets out, there's a big chance that it won't work anymore. So I have to keep it very, very strict. So if you're interested and you want to learn how to get comp cruises to where you can cruise all over the world, send me a DM, Inner, at Instagram. And this particular trip I'm on right now, I'm in a junior suite. And so I get fancy restaurants and all that type of stuff. This is a 5-day cruise, 4 nights out of Port Canaveral. And it is comped. And I believe if it wasn't comped for 2 people, which each one of these comp trips is scheduled for 2 people, it's like an $8,000 or $9,000 cruise. So if you're interested on learning the method that it takes to be able to go on these comp cruises, DM me, enter, INNER, and we will get started. All right, let's go on. We'll check out the other side here. Here is this dry slide, which goes from, I think we're on the 16th floor, and it goes down to the 6th floor. And it's fun. It's a nice slide. And when we're at port, it's kind of your best time to be able to do the slides and all the stuff on the boat. And that's not a piranha. It's called a lanternfish, I think. And it has a little light above its head. And it's way down deep in the ocean. It's fathoms down. And when other little fish see that light, they come to it. And he eats it. Whatever comes to the light. And that's how we get in. That's the pass to get into Nassau. And then here we'll get to see a pretty good view of what Disney Wish and the other cruise ships look like. It's the world's largest sandbar and cruise party. If you'd ever told me that I would be lined up next to giant ships and on the largest ship and have this view, I'd have been, really? Especially when I was a kid in like high school and stuff like that. I would have been like, wow, no way. And I think this ship here that we're on is probably about 100 foot longer than all of these other ships. It's a monster. I believe this ship is 978 feet or something like that. And there's a back view of the Carnival Glory. I think I was on that ship a long time ago. I believe it's like 25 years old or something like that. That one's 25, and this one here is 1 year old. And over there on Disney, you know, it's cool because every time I do this, Mickey Mouse comes out and waves at all of us. They want you to know that Mickey Mouse is over there. And then Minnie comes out, and then Goofy. Maybe not, but they could. And then there's a glass bottom boat, which is kind of cool. Never been on one, but I have seen them from here, which they look pretty neat. And then that hotel in the background there, I think is that multi-billion-dollar hotel that I think China built it. Never been to that one before. I've been to Atlantis, but I haven't been that direction yet. I always stay, at least now, I always stay on the ship at Nassau. But I have been on the island multiple times before. But here it is, the world's largest, I say sandbar party, but it's really a port party. And this is a lot of giant ships all lined up together, which I think is super cool. So for all of y'all tuned in, I appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to Cruise Bachelor, and if you haven't checked out any of the videos, we've had some videos that have really gone viral here lately. We had one with a little girl and a junkyard dog, and it's just going crazy. It's getting like 23,000 views an hour. So if you haven't looked through the shorts, there's a lot of cool stuff on here. And then I'm also going to be doing some longer form videos, especially on the cruise. So if you see me come up on this live stream, I'm doing something that should be pretty entertaining. So check it out, and I appreciate everybody that's watching it right now. Thank you very much.